Did you realize that a mere palmful of the incorrect nut variety could silently elevate your hypertension, deteriorate your recall, and even hasten the aging process without you sensing a single symptom? The majority of the elderly population possesses no clue that the refreshments they rely upon, the very ones they have consumed for decades, might currently be operating to their detriment. Here is the alarming component. Numerous senior citizens opt for these nuts under the impression they are selecting a nutritious option, whereas in truth, they might be stoking inflammation, stressing the cardiovascular system, and upsetting glucose levels in manners physicians warn can turn perilous post-60. However, there exists an alternative perspective to this narrative, which constitutes the positive tidings that far too many individuals fail to ever receive. While specific nuts possess the capacity to damage your cerebrum, your articulations, and your blood flow, others are so abundant in defensive compounds that investigators suggest they could aid in diminishing the threat of mental deterioration, alleviating arthritic agony, and even maintaining a more robust heartbeat for years ahead. Consequently, on this day, we intend to reveal the reality regarding the most detrimental nut that seniors are required to shun, and the singular nut you ought to be consuming each solitary day to safeguard your intellect, your ticker, and your autonomy. The information you unearth within the subsequent few moments might thoroughly transform the manner in which you snack and the way in which you mature. Prior to our immersion, in the event you have not yet subscribed, I suggest you strike that button and activate the notification bell so you never overlook another wellness pointer crafted specifically for your benefit. Should you find pleasure in this video, please type the number 1 in the comments section. Conversely, type 0 to inform me how I might construct superior content for your consumption. Part 1 encompasses 4 distinct varieties of nuts that the elderly population needs to evade, starting with the first worst nut, which is salted cashews. Salted cashews might appear benign, possessing a smooth texture, a golden hue, and being roasted lightly while stacked systematically in every single American supermarket aisle. Numerous seniors extend their hand for them, believing they are deciding upon a wholesome refreshment. Yet behind that recognizable comfort resides a concealed peril that quietly jeopardizes the well-being of older adults. The issue originates with the method by which the majority of commercial cashews are processed, as they are frequently roasted at exceedingly elevated temperatures, which degrades their inherent oils into oxidized lipids. These compromised fats slide into the circulatory system and stoke chronic inflammation, which stands as one of the primary catalysts for arthritis agony, rigid joints, hypertension, and even cardiovascular disease in individuals exceeding 60 years of age. The hazard does not cease at that point because salted cashews are characteristically encrusted with a substantial quantity of sodium. For older adults, particularly those residing with hypertension, heart ailments, or kidney worries, excessive sodium functions akin to dousing petrol onto a smoldering flame. Physicians frequently caution that elevated sodium consumption rigidifies blood vessels, augments fluid retention, and instigates abrupt surges in blood pressure, surges that can result in lightheadedness, cranial pain, or in grave instances, a stroke. Many seniors fail to comprehend that a mere single handful of salted cashews can comprise more sodium than an entire dinner. Contemplate the narrative of Mr. Harold, a 72-year-old retiree originating from Arizona, who snacked on a petite bowl of salted cashews every afternoon, believing it was a superior selection to biscuits or crisps. Within a span of months, he commenced experiencing swollen ankles, ascending blood pressure, and deteriorating joint agony. His cardiologist subsequently elucidated that the amalgamation of oxidized fats and sodium derived from his daily cashews had been quietly eroding his heart and circulation. Cashews additionally contain oxalates, which are compounds that can contribute to the generation of kidney stones, an exceptionally excruciating condition that becomes increasingly prevalent with advancing age. For seniors possessing diminished kidney function, this peril is even more significant, and this merely represents the commencement. If salted cashews can effectuate this degree of harm, the subsequent nut upon our list bears risks that are even more misleading and far more perilous than the majority of people realize. If you remain watching and are discovering these insights to be beneficial, please comment with the number 1 below to inform me that you are with me. Now let us proceed to point number 2, the second worst nut, which covers sugar-coated or chocolate-covered macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts are frequently viewed as a luxurious indulgence, being smooth, buttery, and ideal for holidays or tranquil evenings within the home. However, for seniors, the instant these nuts are coated in sugar, caramel, or milk chocolate, they metamorphose from a benign luxury into a perilous snare that can silently erode your health. Many older adults do not realize that processed macadamias sold in American retailers are saturated in syrups, synthetic flavorings, and refined oils. Doctors caution that this combination generates a perfect storm consisting of rapid blood glucose spikes, heightened inflammation, and a substantial impact of saturated fat that places immense strain on an aging heart. For individuals over 60, whose metabolism decelerates and whose cells become increasingly sensitive to insulin fluctuations, even a diminutive serving can send blood sugar soaring, leaving you exhausted, foggy, and desiring more. Elevated sugar intake additionally hastens cognitive decline, a phenomenon far too many families mistake as merely the aging process. These coated macadamia nuts are frequently roasted in industrial seed oils, which break down into inflammatory compounds associated with stiff joints, worsening arthritis and plaque accumulation in the arteries. Cardiologists across the nation frequently caution that these oils are far more detrimental to seniors than most comprehend. Combined with added sugar, they generate the identical biological pattern observed in patients suffering from early heart disease. Observe Mrs. Eleanor, a 68-year-old grandmother from Ohio, who adored the chocolate-covered macadamias her daughter brought back from Hawaii each year. She held the belief that they were healthier than cookies or fudge, yet after months of enjoying just a handful each night, her A1C climbed sharply. She began experiencing nighttime palpitations and unusual fatigue, leading her endocrinologist to inform her that the concealed sugars and oils in her macadamia treats were quietly pushing her toward full-blown diabetes. The danger is subtle, but the damage is factual. And the subsequent nut on this list carries an even larger threat, one that most seniors have never been warned about. The third worst nut is the Brazil nut when it is consumed with regularity. Brazil nuts frequently appear innocent, being large, smooth, and praised for being nutrient-dense, leading many seniors to select them believing they are choosing a natural source of energy. However, what most older adults do not realize is that Brazil nuts contain one of the highest concentrations of selenium found in any food, a mineral that is essential in minute amounts, yet dangerously toxic when consumed in excess. Doctors across major U.S. medical centers repeatedly warn that seniors are more vulnerable to selenium overload because aging kidneys process minerals more slowly, allowing toxic levels to build up quietly over time. Just one Brazil nut can provide you with the full daily requirement of selenium, meaning with 2 or 3 nuts, you have already exceeded what most physicians consider safe. When selenium levels rise too high, the symptoms can be frighteningly subtle at first, manifesting as unexplained fatigue, brittle hair, irritability, and digestive issues, before progressing into nerve damage, hair loss, and disruptions in thyroid function. These problems are often blamed on aging, leaving seniors unaware that the real cause may be sitting inside their snack bowl. Take the example of Mr. Lawrence, a 74-year-old retired engineer from Michigan, who wanted to improve his energy and began eating a small handful of mixed nuts each morning, not realizing Brazil nuts were scattered throughout. Within months, he developed trembling hands, thinning hair, and strange bouts of dizziness, fearing the worst until his doctor discovered dangerously elevated selenium levels traced back to those nuts he believed were helping him. This kind of slow and silent toxicity makes Brazil nuts especially risky for seniors who are simply trying to support their health but may end up harming themselves without clear warning signs. While Brazil nuts carry hidden risks, the next nut on our list is even more deceptive, because it is the one most Americans over 60 eat every single week, without knowing the real danger behind it. If you are still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you are here. And now, let us keep going with point number 4. The fourth worst nut covers industrially processed peanuts and peanut butter, as peanuts are woven deeply into American life as ballpark snacks, lunchbox staples, and pantry classics. Many seniors grew up with them and still rely on a jar of peanut butter for a quick and familiar bite. But beneath that comfort lies a danger far more serious than most older adults realize. Processed peanuts sold across the U.S. can be among the most contaminated nuts because they are sometimes stored in warm and humid warehouses where a toxic mold called Aspergillus can grow. This mold produces aflatoxin, a carcinogenic compound so harmful that liver specialists compare long-term exposure to a significant health hazard. Seniors whose liver function often declines with age are especially vulnerable, as even small amounts consumed regularly can worsen inflammation, impair detoxification, and increase the risk of liver disease. However, the threat does not end with aflatoxin, as most commercial peanut products are roasted in cheap and highly processed seed oils that break down into inflammatory byproducts. Cardiologists warn that these oils raise LDL cholesterol and promote plaque buildup inside arteries, creating silent changes that can lead to chest tightness, shortness of breath, or even sudden cardiac events. Peanut butter, the version many older adults trust, is often blended with added sugars, hydrogenated oils, and excessive salt. This combination destabilizes blood sugar, worsens belly fat, and accelerates cognitive decline, which are issues many seniors incorrectly attribute to merely getting older. Consider the case of Mrs. Helen, a 70-year-old widow from North Carolina, who ate 2 tablespoons of her favorite creamy peanut butter every night with crackers, believing it was a light and protein-rich snack. Over time, she began feeling unusually fatigued, developed mild jaundice, and noticed her memory slipping, leading her doctor to later reveal elevated liver markers and inflammation tied directly to the processed ingredients. It was a hidden danger she never saw coming, which is why processed peanuts and peanut butter pose the greatest risk of all. They feel safe, they taste familiar, and they are eaten often. But while these nuts quietly undermine your health, there are other nuts that can strengthen your heart, protect your memory, and help you age with energy and clarity. Those are the 4 powerful nuts we will uncover next, starting with one that deserves a place on your table every single week. Part 2 covers 4 types of nuts you should eat regularly at age 60 plus, starting with the first best nut, which represents walnuts. Walnuts may not have the glossy shine of almonds or the festive charm of pecans, but for seniors, they are one of the most powerful gifts nature offers. Their wrinkled shape resembles the human brain, and it is almost poetic that this unassuming nut contains nutrients proven to protect memory, sharpen focus, and support emotional well-being, which are areas many older adults quietly worry about. Doctors from leading memory clinics often emphasize that walnuts are one of the richest plant sources of ALA omega-3s, a fatty acid that reduces inflammation inside the brain and supports healthier connections between nerve cells. As we age, chronic inflammation becomes a silent thief, stealing clarity, slowing recall, and making everyday tasks feel harder. Yet walnuts help counter that process by nourishing the brain in ways few other foods can. Their benefits reach far beyond cognition because walnuts are loaded with polyphenols, which are powerful antioxidants that cardiologists say help relax blood vessels, improve circulation, and reduce the kind of arterial stiffness commonly seen in people over 60. These compounds help lower the risk of heart disease, the leading cause of death among seniors, and they do so gently, steadily, and naturally. For those struggling with joint discomfort, walnuts offer another layer of support by calming systemic inflammation that contributes to arthritis flare-ups. Take Mr. Raymond, a 69-year-old retired teacher from Minnesota, who noticed small lapses in memory and morning stiffness, so he began adding a small handful of walnuts to his oatmeal each day. Within months, he felt mentally sharper, his joints felt less achy, and his doctor even noted modest improvements in his cholesterol levels. He said it was the first time in years he felt he was truly taking control of his health, proving walnuts are not just a snack, but a daily act of protection for your brain and heart. If walnuts carry this much healing power, the next nut on our list offers something even more remarkable, especially for seniors hoping to strengthen their bones and maintain steady energy throughout the day. If you are still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you are with me. Now let us move on to point number 2, the second best nut, which is almonds. Almonds have long been a familiar presence in American kitchens, but for seniors, they carry a deeper significance rooted in steady strength, heart protection, and the quiet preservation of independence. Unlike sugary snacks or processed crackers that drain energy, almonds deliver a slow and stable fuel that doctors say is essential for older adults whose metabolism and blood sugar regulation naturally change with age. What makes almonds especially valuable is their rich supply of vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that neurologists associate with sharper memory, healthier nerves, and reduced cognitive decline. For many seniors worried about forgetfulness or mental fog, this single nutrient can make a meaningful difference. Cardiologists often recommend almonds because they help maintain healthy cholesterol levels, as their monounsaturated fats work gently to lower LDL while supporting HDL, the good cholesterol that protects aging arteries. Their fiber content helps stabilize blood sugar, an important factor for the millions of Americans over 60 who live with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Almonds also contain magnesium, a mineral that supports bone strength and helps ease nighttime muscle cramps, a complaint many seniors quietly struggle with. Consider the story of Mrs. Patricia, a 66-year-old grandmother from Wisconsin, who used to start her mornings with a pastry and coffee, only to feel shaky and exhausted hours later. After advice from her doctor, she replaced the pastry with a small handful of raw almonds and a piece of fruit, and within weeks, her afternoon fatigue eased. Her blood sugar stabilized, and she even noticed fewer memory lapses during conversations with her grandchildren. Almonds became a simple habit that helped her feel steadier, more grounded, and in control of her health. Almonds offer strength, clarity, and balance in a single handful. Yet, as powerful as they are, the next nut on our list brings a different kind of protection, one that supports not only the heart, but also the body's inner defense against aging itself. The third best nut is pecans. Pecans may remind many seniors of holiday pies, Southern family gatherings, or the warmth of fall afternoons, but beneath that nostalgia lies a nut that offers remarkable protection for aging bodies. Among all commonly eaten nuts in the United States, pecans rank at the top for antioxidant strength. Doctors who specialize in geriatric health often explain that antioxidants act like a shield, slowing the cellular rusting process that accelerates aging, weakens immunity, and fuels chronic inflammation. For seniors already battling stiff joints, heart concerns, or low energy, pecans provide a gentle yet powerful layer of defense. Unlike heavily processed snacks that spike blood sugar, pecans offer a steady source of healthy fats and fiber that support stable energy throughout the day. Cardiologists frequently highlight how these fats help reduce LDL cholesterol, ease artery stiffness, and improve overall heart function, benefits that are especially valuable for adults over 60 who face higher risks of heart disease simply due to age. Pecans also contain magnesium and zinc, two minerals that play essential roles in immune response, wound healing, and maintaining strong, resilient tissues. Take the story of Mr. Curtis, a 71-year-old retiree from Georgia who used to struggle with afternoon fatigue and sore knees that made gardening difficult. At his doctor's suggestion, he replaced his usual cookie snack with a small handful of unsalted pecans, and within a few months, he felt more energized. His joint discomfort eased, and his cholesterol numbers showed noticeable improvement, leading him to say it was not just his body that felt better, but his confidence too. He knew he was finally fueling himself with something that supported his longevity instead of working against it, proving pecans offer nourishment that feels comforting, familiar, and deeply American. While pecans help strengthen the heart and calm inflammation, the next nut provides something even more unique, an everyday boost that can support your eyes, circulation, and mental clarity all at once. The fourth best nut is pistachios. Pistachios may look small and unassuming, but for seniors, they are one of the most complete and reliable nuts you can add to your daily routine. Doctors who work closely with older adults frequently highlight pistachios because they offer a rare combination of heart protection, eye support, steady energy, and improved circulation, all in a portion that is easy to chew. They are easy to digest and gentle on aging systems, unlike many nuts that are heavy or overly rich. Pistachios provide balanced nutrition, including plant protein, healthy fats, fiber, and essential vitamins that help stabilize blood sugar and keep energy levels even throughout the day. For seniors who struggle with mid-afternoon crashes, pistachios can feel like a quiet lifeline. What truly sets pistachios apart is their unique blend of lutein and zeaxanthin, two antioxidants that ophthalmologists strongly associate with better vision and a reduced risk of macular degeneration. As eyesight naturally declines with age, these nutrients act like internal defenders, helping protect the eyes from damage caused by light and oxidative stress. Pistachios also contain potassium, magnesium, and compounds that improve blood vessel function, allowing better circulation to the heart, brain, and extremities. Cardiologists often recommend them as part of a heart-conscious diet, especially for older adults with concerns about blood pressure or sluggish circulation. Take Mrs. Diane, a 73-year-old former librarian from Indiana who used to rely on pretzels and crackers for quick snacks, but found they left her tired and bloated. After switching to a daily handful of pistachios, she noticed fewer dizzy spells, improved focus while reading, and a surprising lift in her overall mood. Her doctor later pointed out that her improved circulation and stabilized blood sugar were likely playing a major role, proving pistachios are not just a snack, but a daily investment in clarity, strength, and independence. Now that you have discovered the best and worst nuts for healthy aging, there is one final truth that ties everything together. Something every senior should remember before choosing their next meal. This brings us to the final summary regarding the small choices that shape a longer and stronger life. As we reach our 60s, 70s, and beyond, maintaining good health is no longer about grand gestures or complicated routines, but about the quiet, everyday decisions that build up over time. It is especially about the foods we choose to put into our bodies. For while nuts may seem like a small detail in the larger picture of aging, as you have seen, the wrong ones can provoke inflammation, strain the heart, cloud the mind, and weaken the very systems we depend on. Salted cashews, sugar-coated macadamias, excessive Brazil nuts, and processed peanuts often slip into our diets unnoticed. Yet, they carry risks that grow heavier with age. But the right nuts, which are walnuts, almonds, pecans, and pistachios, can do the opposite by protecting memory, supporting the heart, strengthening bones, easing inflammation, and nourishing the body in ways that help older adults stay sharp, steady, and independent. These nuts work quietly, day after day, building resilience from the inside out. Think of it this way. Every handful is a choice toward clarity instead of confusion, strength instead of fatigue, and vitality instead of decline. The seniors who thrive are not the ones who make perfect choices every time, but the ones who understand that even small shifts can create powerful change. As you look ahead, let this be your encouragement that your best years are not behind you. With knowledge, intention, and the right habits, you have the power to shape the quality of your life one simple snack at a time. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I would love to hear from you. So take a moment to reflect and share one thing you have learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let us support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. But if not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.